Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. Are you looking to run some hearing questions? Perfect. One moment. Okay, I'm now putting you on speakerphone for YouTube Live. Just a quick disclaimer. There's no attorney-client privilege with this. What you need to know is that when you use a name, use a fake name. Other than that, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through this. How old are you?
36.
36. What are the top 5 impairments that you have?
PTSD, anxiety, angry outbursts, temper.
Okay, so mostly mental, you would say, correct?
Yes.
Any physical impairments?
No.
Okay.
I have asthma.
You have asthma? Okay. How bad is the asthma?
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I get it when I'm around animals.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so help me out with this. What do you feel is the most severe mental impairment that you have out of all of them?
Was anxiety.
Okay. With the anxiety, do you get panic attacks?
I get anxiety attacks. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack.
Okay, so walk me through this. You feel like you're going to have a heart attack. What types of layouts, what types of situations, what types of moments seem to trigger you to get really excited?
When I have a lot going on, like if I'm working and there's a delivery that needs to be made and I'm stressed out at work.
Okay. Okay. Where do you work?
Trigger it.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm not working right now.
Okay. When was the last time you worked?
I was working in manufacturing.
Yeah. Okay.
I was also in the Army for 7 years.
Okay. What's your VA rating?
100%.
So you're 100. All right. So look, this is not a hard claim to win then, because you've got the 100% VPAT allowance. Do me a favor, write down the following. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 sec, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're going to need to write down the following code. The code is I, as in igloo, -2-1-40, subsection A, subsection 2. That's the statute you're going to use to get your claim expedited. Do you have a hearing coming up?
Yes.
When's your hearing?
My hearing's June 22nd.
Okay. Is it what state is it in?
Florida.
Okay. So walk me through this. So you're in the state of Florida. You're having these issues. What kind of medications are you currently taking, and what are they for?
I'm taking a bunch of medications. I'm taking bupropion, and acamprostate, clotidine, divalproex, hydroxyzine, melatonin, trazodone, venlafaxine, and then I also get a shot that's called paliperidone.
Okay. Can you tell me, per each medication, if you know what they are, or in general, if you're not sure, what side effects do you get per each medication?
For the trazodone, I'm still real sleepy in the morning when I wake up, so I stay in bed before I get up. Since I take all the medications at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to tell which ones do which, but I do have problems with like concentration and memory.
Okay. So help me out with this. What was the last job you worked?
I worked in a manufacturing company, and I last worked there in 2017.
Okay, so we're talking about 3 years. What'd you manufacture?
We made power converters for space parks.
Oh, that's
for
so
space
cool.
companies.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, I don't know if you know this, but one of my dreams was to actually do space law, talking about and writing contracts and agreements that are between nations that want to go into space, or basically somebody that's going to take over some rock that somebody already claimed to go ahead and mine something out of it, or perhaps to do the contractual agreements or the layout for what's going to happen when they create a bigger space station, etc. That's actually a dream of mine. I live right next to, I live on the Space Coast area, so that's super cool that you're doing that. That means, yeah, so that means that you were working with unique metals. That means that this was not a traditional commercial-based electrical unit. Tell me, what was so difficult about that job that you had to stop working there?
I had a lot of angry outbursts. Actually, when I quit the job, I had an angry outburst, and I started screaming and yelling at everybody. And I threw the trash can, I threw my coffee on the ground, and I stormed out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but before that, I also had a bunch of angry outbursts with various coworkers.
Okay.
And, yeah, that was the worst of it. And then since I was a supervisor, I didn't have that much supervision over me, so I could get away with being off task.
Uh-huh.
So, if I was having problems with my PTSD, like my anxiety or whatever, I can go to my car, or I could just kind of zone out at my desk and no one would notice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just got to be too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So help me out with this. Obviously, did you quit or did they fire you? I mean, you could have gone either way with that, I'm guessing.
I quit.
Okay. So help me out with this. You've had these problems for an extended period. Obviously, 2017, that was kind of a moment in time, right, where enough was enough, and you couldn't handle it anymore. Have you been doing odd jobs since then?
No. I went to school twice, and I ended up having to drop all my classes.
Okay. What'd you go to school
both
for?
Times.
Yeah.
The first time was for entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
It was a certificate program at
Mm-hmm.
the community college in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had an outburst with one of the other students.
Mm-hmm.
And but I had to miss a bunch of classes because I couldn't go to class because I was having problems with my anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And just problems with my PTSD and
Nightmares? Are these flashbacks?
both. I get both.
Okay. What are they about?
I get a flashback from my Iraq experience.
Gotcha.
And I also went to Afghanistan. I had some bad experiences there.
Okay.
But the flashbacks, I flash back to when we flew a Iraqi's head off.
Sure.
And I get flashbacks of that.
Okay.
Flashbacks of other wartime.
Is it the sound?
stuff.
Was it the graphic of the head exploding? What was it?
It was just seeing that was pretty traumatizing.
Now, were you the
He was
shooter?
a bad guy, but it was still traumatizing.
Oh, of course. No, you're in war. You're in war. The rules of ethical conduct are completely different than society. Now, were you the shooter or was somebody else the shooter?
I was one of the teachers.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. The VA has worked with you to go ahead and get you to accept what happened over there. Why do you feel it didn't work?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sure. The VA has been working.
I didn't understand.
No, it's okay. The VA has been working with you to get you to the point where, you won't have blow-ups, you won't freak out, you won't have as bad of flashbacks, you won't have, reaction-based, nightmares and things like that. Why have they been not effective in getting you through your PTSD, flashbacks, and nightmares?
I don't know. I'm trying everything I can to get better. I quit drinking alcohol. I quit tobacco. I tried going to a group, a weekly group meeting with other veterans before the coronavirus. I'm just trying everything I can, but I still get flashbacks. I still have nightmares. I think the medication and the therapy, I think it helps a little bit, but I don't think it's... I still need to get better, though.
Okay. Help me out with this. Out of the following groups of people, who do you get along with the least? Bosses, friends, family, coworkers, or the general public?
I would say coworkers.
And why do you have a tough time with coworkers?
I had at my last manufacturing job, I'd ask them to do something and then they wouldn't do it, or they'd blow me off. It would make me really upset.
Okay. So walk me through this. You just had bad coworkers that weren't doing their side of what they had to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Small things.
Yeah.
Other people would look at it, they'd say small things, but I can't help it. It triggers my anger, and then I'll be just thinking about that for most of the day. Something small.
You're a blow up type, right? You sit there, you get angry, you blow up, and then you feel better?
Yeah, but I don't really feel better. I feel embarrassed afterwards.
Okay.
And then I feel depressed, and then sometimes I'll have a crying spell.
Okay.
Where, I have a crying spell because just everything that's going on just kind of crashes on me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Can you give me 2 real-life examples in your life of the types of people that are problematic for you?
Two types. Coworkers, or...
Yeah, coworkers, the people that are problematic in your life.
I would say coworkers the most.
And what are 2 examples of that?
And then also at restaurants too. I got into it with the lady that was taking my order.
So she was taking your order, and she knew.
And she, I wanted a side of bread.
Sure.
And she said it already came with bread. And I was like, I know that. I was like, I want the side of bread also. And then she didn't understand. And then that kind of made me mad. And then I had an angry outburst.
Well,
and then she's like,
yeah.
So then she's like, yeah, it's just food. And then that just triggered my anger even more.
Gotcha. Well, at Olive Garden, if they don't provide enough breadsticks, it's at least a Class 1 felony. So I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When blame is to be apportioned for something that went wrong, how do you handle being questioned by other people as to why it went wrong?
I get defensive. Sometimes if people are questioning me, sometimes I feel like they're getting at me about it. I don't like being told what to do, really.
Okay.
I've gotten into it with my bosses. Gotten into it with my family members. Like, there's a lot of people in my life that I've had angry outbursts with.
Okay. So help me out with this. What are you doing to currently control, and this is how the judge will bring it forward. What are you doing to control your outbursts, your angry outbursts going forward?
Well, I take clotidine. So I take clotidine. I make sure I have it with me. And my doctor gave me that to take when I'm having like a PTSD episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that. I'm not going to group because of the coronavirus thing, but I'm going to go back to that. Pretty much avoid a lot of triggers, or at least I try my best to avoid triggers like loud noises or crowded places or restaurants I don't feel comfortable at. So I avoid those places if I have to go, or if I don't, I get really bad anxiety.
Well, walk me through this. Do you have a girlfriend in your life?
No.
Do your parents help you?
Yeah, my dad helps me financially.
Okay.
He helps with groceries and gas.
Mm-hmm. Are you able to get along with the people on the softball team?
No, not all the time. I got into it with one of the guys. We almost got into a fist fight. So, not all the time. And then there's guys on the team that don't call, and they just no call, no show. That makes me really upset.
Okay.
And I don't make all the games. I miss a bunch of the games too because sometimes I just can't go.